What's the matter, Sith King? And how did you get into my house?
Oh, Sonic Sons. First off, you left the window unlocked.
Oh.
Second off, I'm just depressed at the state of children's cartoons. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we reviewed Equestrian Girls, and, well, I got a little miffed at it. Wait.
I liked it.
Wait. Okay, well, actually, no, more than a little miffed. Wait. Where on the scale of annoyed does I want to see the main villain dissected in an XCOM lab count as?
Technically, you are supposed to hate the main villain, but I remember you hating everything else, too.
Yeah, okay, but I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like kids' cartoons are just trying to aim for the lowest common denominator, trying to shoot for the lowest levels of entertainment, saying this will entertain a 4-year-old, so that's all it should entertain. It feels like there are plot holes and errors everywhere. But, that's in the past. So what piece of dreck are we reviewing this week? What children's cartoon are we going to scar my mind with horrible inaccuracies and poor writing and awful characters? What crap are we going to see?
Tron Uprising.
Victory!
Alright, let's start the review proper.
I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
And today we're reviewing the short-lived but awesome TV show Tron Uprising.
By the way, we're the rambling reviewers. That's fine. This is it's an interquel, I guess.
Yeah.
It takes place between the original Tron they made in like the 80s, whenever that came out.
And the
Tron Legacy that came later.
Which technically it's kind of fits into Tron Legacy a bit.
Yeah.
Because they had those flashbacks. And it takes place after those flashbacks start.
Well, they in Tron Uprising there are flashbacks to a scene which is also flashbacked to in Tron Legacy. Whatever. The point is, you don't have to worry about any of that because if you don't know jack about Tron, it doesn't matter as far as I care. Somehow there's this world inside a computer. Go.
It's not like the other worlds inside a computer, like Digimon or Summer Wars or
the
Mega
Matrix
Man or Matrix
yeah.
or The Adventures of Sid the Dust Mite inside of the computer.
It's a world inside a computer that looks cool.
Yes. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but I, for one, really enjoy Tron. Just the architecture and the look of everything.
The Tron lines, the glow, the sort of
everything looks really
sparseness, but like it's
everything looks
glowy.
really smooth and clean.
Yeah.
Could have used a few more, bit more natural lighting. It felt a little too cold, but
it's kind of hard to do natural lighting without putting a sun in there, and then it would look all kind of weird.
Which funny thing, no sun in this universe.
Yeah.
And yet we avoid the problem of that I have explained before, perhaps not in this review, of if you remove the sun, then the Earth will be plunged into a permanent ice age. But whatever.
Yeah, we're cool. It is a computer. I'm sure they're running off of the CPU heat or whatever.
So the basic plot, this is the first episode. There's a kid not even kid, a young man named Beck, and he lives in Argon City. And yes, before you ask, every city on the grid is named after a different element. We hear about the cities of Bismuth as well.
Yep.
But, he lives in the city of Argon with his friends, and they like hanging out and stuff. And then Clue's forces take over the city. They form the Occupation. They do exactly what their title suggests.
Right.
And they kill Beck's friend, Bodhi.
Oh, wow, yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, we started watching this a while ago. So first episode, Bodhi is killed. Yeah, someone was killed in a Disney cartoon. Of course, since they're not humans, they just turn into little cube things.
They're dead. It's all the same,
Those are actually called voxels, but that's not really important. So you actually see, by the way, a lot of people die in this series.
Yeah, but without being, like, dark. It's kind of weird how to explain that. It's like, it doesn't feel over the top, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So Beck decides to do some vandalism and destroys a statue. He then starts running away from the police forces that are chasing him, which include, various members of Clue's army. He eventually gets found by Tron. Of course, you don't know it's Tron at the time. Oh, by the way, there are going to be spoilers in this review.
Yes, we're gonna. I mean, I could, sum up our premise here if you want.
Tron then recruits Beck into being the new Tron to start a revolution, an uprising against Clue.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, Clue is the bad guy, and he's taking over the digital world, and Tron is this good guy, and he's recruiting a guy to make a rebellion against Clue. That's it.
It loses something when you say it like that.
Well, yeah, but
Dude, you claim I cap too much.
All right. Sorry for capping.
Well, yeah, I mean, it loses something. Oh yeah, by the way, the voice cast for this, the narrator.
You mean the main character?
No, narrator.
Oh. The beginning. Yeah.
Also the voice. Oh jeez, I can't remember her name. She played Six in Battlestar Galactica and Edie in Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I can look it up while you ramble. Keep rambling.
Tron's voice. He gets his role reprised by Bruce Boxleitner, the guy who played Tron originally. Oh, the woman's name is Tricia Helfer.
Oh, I almost had it.
Bruce Boxleitner, meaning that Tron is also played by Commander Sheridan.
Yep.
Yes. Well, the voice of Beck, Elijah Wood.
Yeah, that's Frodo Baggins, guys.
So Frodo Baggins is teaming up with Commander Sheridan
Yeah.
to take down evil computer programs.
All right.
This is already awesome from the moment go.
Well, and it's, you start watching. I remember from the very beginning, you felt the faces seemed a little odd. And then you realize it's just like their art style.
Yeah.
And they spent...
I mean, it's like Code Lyoko. If you have a thing against big foreheads, that's going to bother you.
Yes, Tesla is going to drive you insane.
Yeah, Tesla, woo. No. I didn't mean... The art style is like Code Lyoko. Yeah, there are some pretty big foreheads.
Yeah.
But just that's how they do it.
Right. It is not perfectly realistic, but that's okay. You get used to it, and you realize that the effort that might have gone into like making super realistic faces or whatever, they spent that instead on choreography,
and not just choreography, art style
and design, and yeah.
Oh, dude, the city is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just it's all Tron all the way, and yeah, it doesn't feel like repetitive or dumb or whatever. They went to what was that other city they went to in an early episode where he loses his disc for a bit.
Can't remember.
But it was like a whole different style, but it still seemed like Tron,
You know what's the funny thing about this? We actually went into this thinking, oh God, we could use a laugh at how bad this is going to be because it's a licensed adaptation of a movie.
We were browsing Netflix. We
were 9 episodes in and we were like, oh God, I don't want it to stop.
I mean, it's just, it has so much respect for the audience. It feels intelligent. The characters feel,
like
properly
people.
deep.
I mean, they're not even humans, and yet they still feel more real than a lot of other shows portray their main characters who are human.
Right. I mean, take the villains, for instance. We have, a lot of mooks and whatever, but there's like 5 different villain characters.
Yeah, there's...
and they're all different.
Like the main 3 that you see most of the time are the occupation's leader, Tesla, who is kind of this...
Tesla's very sort of is hard, stoic, just gives commands and stuff, except when you personally mess with him, and then he has his freaking hand things that are just so scary.
Yeah. By the way, if you've seen G Gundam, you will understand perfectly why I was grinning when he attacks people.
Yeah.
Burning finger.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's obsessed with order. But he doesn't think things through all the way like we saw earlier.
Which one are we talking about?
Paige, putting her in the gladiator.
Oh, yeah, but he amped up the pressure.
Yeah, Paige is the single attractive female one, which actually I was quite surprised at her. She actually has a heart, and she actually feels like she's a good person, but she's not an extremist or insane or evil. She's not Team Rocket.
She's basically a good person on the wrong side, and she believes some of the propaganda. She actually thinks she's like helping the grid when she's a villain, but she doesn't like quite understand that yet, and it's kind of complex.
Exactly. And then there's Pavel. Pavel is bumfuck insane.
Pavel he's smart insane though,
He's like the Joker.
He's a bit like the Joker.
At some points he's just kind of like the Starscream, like where
he's conniving against his master type of thing.
Yeah, trying to get more and more power. But then you see underneath the facade of his evil and find out that he's a sociopathic whack job who likes torturing programs and murdering them for no good reason. Yeah, he's got he's got some redeeming qualities in that he is absolutely hilarious to watch.
Yeah, but he often has like several things going on at once. He's got like a clever plan, but also a homicidal urge, and whatever else is going on.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
And then you see him interact with Paige, and this interesting thing. Like at one point, he's plotting with Paige. Oh, we're gonna overthrow Tesla, and take his place. And Paige says no. Like she has loyalty to Tesla. She has that sort of good-heartedness to her. At the same time, doesn't turn Pavel in. Because she has a no ratting kind of rule. She doesn't even have to say it out loud, but this is how she thinks.
Yeah, but it was kind of a mistake on her part.
Well, it was a mistake, but I'm just saying that you put these characters in a room together and they bounce off of each other in character-based ways. They
aren't like archetypes. You don't have, this character is Moe or Mo or whatever you're called. Yeah. This character is a tsundere. This character is the hero.
Well,
this character is the big guy. I've seen a lot of anime, and I live through TV tropes. Yeah. Give me a break.
Yeah.
But you don't just have these standard character sets. You have people who have honest opinions.
Right. I mean, you could say, okay, this is, like Tesla is the evil overlord, but like he, has just certain type of sort of reality to him. The way he gets frustrated and things. He's not a card-carrying villain, we were saying earlier.
Yes, he's not.
Yeah.
None of them are card-carrying, I'm evil for the sake of evil. Right. And yes, I did say in my our Power Rangers review, that I did like that kind of villain occasionally. Mm-hmm. But none of them felt like Team Rocket, where they were just pointlessly evil, trying to kidnap and be evil. Every single character felt like they had motivations. Mm-hmm. Even Beck's two friends,
right. Mara and
Zed. Mm-hmm. And Mara is completely in favor of Beck's role as the renegade.
But she doesn't know it. It's a secret identity thing.
Yeah, and it actually shows what would happen if you had a secret life.
Right.
Beck starts to have strained relations with his coworkers and his friends.
Right.
Because he's never around because he's busy trying to save their asses from the occupation.
And Zed thinks that he's actually causing more harm than good. Thinks
the renegade is causing more harm than good. Probably not helped when the renegade stole his bike that one time.
Yeah. But then these things sort of develop. There's a bit of status quo as God, but not too much really, because it still ratchets forward. Mm-hmm. And people's opinions do change over time. And some people die, and they're like, we're moving here. This is going forward. They keep calling back to previous elements. So here's that disc that gives you superpower. So hey, it's back like 10 episodes later, and here's that one guy we recruited. Hey, look, he's back from that other city.
Oh,
and you feel like it's a bigger world. Stuff is happening.
Yeah. One thing I complain about it in Equestrian Girls is that they seem to rely a lot on, it's magic. We don't have to explain this. Yeah, there are some elements that are unexplained in Tron Uprising, like why the hell is there weather in the grid? I mean, we came up with a few theories that like it's representative of some
like
computer
a defrag program or something.
Computer process, but it never feels like they're trying to say it's magic. We don't have to explain it. They present it as this is just how the world works.
Right, and I think they plotted stuff out in advance, so they know to bring to foreshadow little elements of the world, and you're like, oh yeah, it makes sense because that's happened 3 times, and now it's part of a major plot line type of deal.
Yeah, or we plan this out from the beginning, so it doesn't feel like we just recovered this ancient weapon of mass destruction that we have all known about all the time, always.
And that is kind of a thing with Equestrian Girls, which
and
was
My
clearly
Little Pony in general,
which was clearly like thrown in there. Like they didn't have this mirror planned out in advance. It was okay, this will be the plot device, which is fine. I was okay with that, but it is cooler if there's like a whole world and like, I knew about that mirror from before with the thing, and it all builds together.
Okay, here's what I think. Quick thought of what should have happened in Equestrian Girls. Twilight should have gone through the portal. She comes out the other side, still a pony, facing down like about 30 Marines with guns, and General Hammond trying to communicate with her. And then the Stargate shuts down behind her.
Yeah.
Yes! I am a Stargate fan, by the way. Yep. But back to Tron. Yeah, this series is just really good. The voices are great.
Right. The choreography you're mentioning earlier. I mean, they had an actual martial artist, I'm sure, like set this up because it wasn't freaking punch. It was flipping around, throwing,
throwing, jumping kicking,
off of things,
dude,
jumping onto the motorcycles as they go.
Say what you will about Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The actors did know martial arts. And you could see that reflected in this series. I'm not saying they're related.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you can recognize actual martial arts.
Yeah. It felt pretty real.
Yes.
And then they souped it up with all the Tron type things. Like in Tron, you can have this little baton, and you turn it on, it turns into a motorcycle, essentially.
Or a jet.
Or a jet or whatever. So people would like jump off a cliff, grab this thing, and then like ride the motorcycle down the side of the cliff or whatever. There were weird possibilities all the time.
And then there was that awesome scene with Paige, who did the best car foo ever. Okay, she's running away from the government.
Yeah.
She goes back.
Whatever.
But spoilers. Okay, a tank appears at the end of the road blocking her path. So she deactivates the motorcycle. It goes back into stick form.
Keeps running.
She keeps running, ducks, tumbles, slides under a tank blast.
Yeah.
Then she jumps up, and as she lands on the barrel of the tank, turns on the motorcycle again and turns on the
trail thing that it leaves.
Yeah.
In a way that like knots the tank so it can't move. Like it's trapped in this little loop. Yeah, it was like every episode someone was doing something like Beck doing this crazy train jump thing. The trains they like flip upside down sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and
it never feels like, oh, we just pulled this shit out of nowhere. This is like, oh, we saw this used before. We saw this hinted at.
Right.
Oh my God, this is such a good series.
You get a sense of like the physics of the world and what's possible, and they do clever things within that. And it's not like, aha, I developed a new superpower specifically for this situation type of thing.
No, everything feels real.
Yeah.
As strange as that sounds, coming from a world that is like
all a computer. Yeah.
The bastardized child of Mega Man and the Matrix. I never saw Reboot.
No. This is better than Reboot, definitely.
Okay, yeah, but
it's better than most shows.
My only complaint is it ended on a frickin' cliffhanger.
This, my friends, is... I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV, so correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, this is the saddest and most unfair cancellation of a TV show since Firefly. Is anyone who knows Firefly, you know it's awesome, and it makes no sense they canceled it. Saying this, it goes 19 episodes, it ends on a big cliffhanger, and then
this
it's
huge
done.
army. Suddenly, things are starting to look up. The uprising has finally started, and Tron is no longer sick. Because they even explain that, why Tron wasn't the protagonist.
Yeah.
He got sick. Well, actually, he was, like, infected by one of his friends, and he has this virus, and he can't fight without losing so much energy that he'll die. Like, the final episode, he gets cured of that.
Yeah.
And he's like, the uprising has begun. And everyone's like, hey, what the hell? This whole thing happened. And then suddenly, Clue comes in with a fucking air armada.
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't go against it if that was the Galactic Empire. Dude, it was just... It was like,
huge.
Fuck you, we're coming in.
Yeah, I mean, there's, so much would have happened, and it was an ongoing series, too. So you wanted to see the end of it eventually.
And Cyrus.
came back.
Oh my God, Cyrus was this, like...
evil and tricky.
He was evil and tricky, and he actually had a point in the story, and oh my, he was like the Joker from, okay, I said, like, Pavel was like the Joker.
Yeah.
That I more refer to as his, comedic, like, evil, sociopathic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cyrus was the Joker from, The Dark Knight. He had plans within plans within plans. He wanted to tear everything down. He
didn't laugh, but yeah. Well, he had a different sort of laugh. He did that sort of chuckle.
He sounded almost like me, but with an extra layer of distortion over his voice.
Yeah.
And, lighter in pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sound like Darth fucking Vader.
Actually, his voice is pretty deep, so...
Yeah, but still. But yeah, he felt totally creepy without, even in his first appearance, he was totally creepy without doing much.
He could just walk around and be creepy. Like, he would walk...
Okay, I will grant he was doing Spider-Man shit and walking on walls.
Yeah.
But he was so legitimately creepy.
Yeah. It was cool.
And even better, his appearance was foreshadowed. Cyrus was the guard that rescued Tron in one of the flashbacks.
Was he?
Yeah. Remember when Tron was being transferred to like a different facility after he was infected with the virus by the guy with the triangular head?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guard. Cyrus was the guard who freed Tron.
When did he get all the lines on his face?
I don't know. But
I thought that was
happened later. But yeah, it's the same guy.
Is it the same guy?
Yep.
I'm gonna go look that up. All right.
Yeah. So he was an established thing before.
Wow.
This is like the animation version of Babylon 5. Very smart, very good, very detailed, very deep. Oh my god.
And doesn't suffer from the special effects problems because it's not real life to begin with. So they get to like, hey, we're making stuff up.
Okay, Babylon 5, they have some excuse. It was like one of the first attempts to use CGI on such a massive scale.
Right.
But yeah, Babylon 5
But that's the neat thing about having an art style is, it doesn't really go out of date because it's in its own style,
Precisely.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It's weird. I would almost hesitate to classify the art style as cyberpunk utopia.
Because normally cyberpunk is all about dystopia, and it's very dirty. But this is like very clean, but it's still evil, but it's clean.
Yeah.
It's like Mirror's Edge. You've ever played that game?
I have not.
Anyway.
But yeah, it's just... Oh my god, watch this. You can find it on Netflix. It's on streaming.
Yeah. Go. I mean, now we've spoiled everything for you, but that's okay.
You can still watch it, and it's still amazing.
Yeah, and...
Oh my god.
If I were the executive in charge, and I said, look, Tron Uprising is not getting good ratings, I would have said, clearly, it's not the show's fault, and we need to just give it a better time slot or something, because... people are going to love this. This is not just you. It's not like we have a special Tron fetish, Like, we just like cool stuff that's well thought out.
Yes.
And I compared this to Batman the Animated Series from the 90s.
Or Superman, the whole DCAU.
Yeah, I especially like Batman. But anyway.
Okay, but
I mean, it's not Batman, like, per se. Like, they're not copying Batman, but it had that same sort of respect for the audience.
Yes. Yeah. Just because your audience might include little kids doesn't mean you can't still grapple with...
Right.
Very complex topics.
I remember one episode where the mobster at the end of the Batman thing actually turned to good and repented. And I was like, oh my gosh, is that an option when I was a kid? Like, the guy acts a soul? I thought he was a bad guy. Like, oh, they're getting a little complex on us. That was so neat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah. Just good every which way. I could nitpick tiny things. I'm not going to bother because it wouldn't really be worth my time.
I could nitpick things too. And I will. Like, why the hell do they have weather? Why do they have carnivorous animals on the grid? What purpose do they serve? Here's the thing. At one point, someone tries to sneak out of the city using a cloak to conceal all her features. The cloak still has the bright red glowing Tron lines on it. I mean, you'd think that someone would be like, hey, maybe you should turn off the bright glowing parts. Oh, by the way, in that same episode, something very stupid happened. There was this guy standing in the shadows, and he steps forward, and he's got Tron lines all over his body. And it's, again, they're bright red. I was like, I told him, I turned to Sonic here and said, wait, stop. How the hell was he hiding in the shadows? How did we not see that? I mean, he's glowing.
Yeah.
It's like Light Bulb Man trying to hide in a dark room. Curses, how did they find me?
Yeah, but that's all right.
Oh my god.
The thing just you would meet a character for just one time, and they would make an impression on you.
Yes.
Like that woman from when he lost his disc,
Lux.
Like, you remember her. I forgot her name, apparently. But you remember, like, her, and you just met her just once, but she had feeling to her. She felt like a full person. Everyone does
that. She had her own little mini character arc.
Yeah.
She had acquaintances and friends,
right.
And she had a heroic sacrifice. They had a funeral for her.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, as much as they can.
Anyway.
But
yeah,
yeah.
The person who erases memories, like, just for a couple of odd lines about, don't bother me. It's not only illegal, but it's dangerous. So, but I stole a light cycle, and I need you to
light jet.
So you need you to erase from memory. Light jet. Now you're speaking my language. You know, just like through
now
two
you're
lines.
speaking my language. Spanish.
No.
Está bien, señor.
But just through two lines, you would get a sense of somebody's character. You know,
Yeah.
like what was important to them. That was so cool.
And even better yet, she was shown before.
Yeah, she was. She was. Everything kind of just adds up in a good way. I liked it.
Watch this show. Look, if I got a little harsh on Equestrian Girls last time, it's only because I wish more shows were like this one. Not even in the sense that it's science fiction. Not even in the sense that it's Tron, although I do enjoy both of those things. Not even in the sense of the architecture or the art or the choreography. Just have characters be intelligent and consistent. I said this in the very first episode of Rambling Reviewers. I don't care if you have bullshit in your stories. As long as you keep your bullshit consistent. This series is definitely one I will recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. And
To all of the people I know who watch science fiction, CGI shows
I would
based
say,
on movies from the 80s. So basically, I would just recommend it to Sonic Sons.
No, I mean, I would say, regardless of whether you liked the Tron movies, if the basic concept of a world inside a computer and people who do like cool martial arts things and save the world seems at all cool to you,
then check out Code Lyoko.
No.
But also check this one out too.
This is the show. I will recommend this over Code Lyoko in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I will too. I mean, I love Code Lyoko.
Yeah.
I can actually track, how my fandom love has evolved. Yeah. I would not be here if it wasn't for Code Lyoko in many senses, but this is amazing.
This is a show that did it well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pity it was canceled too soon.
Yeah, everyone has to write some fanfics, man. It's all we got.
Or heck, write-in campaign to Disney.
Yeah.
It worked for Family Guy, and that shows. I'm not a fan of Family Guy, but let's just say that. But if it can work for that garbage, this show is a billion times more deserving. Get some letters written, people.
I hope so. But I guess that's basically...
It has Sheridan and Frodo working together! How do you not want more of that? And it's narrated by Trisha Helfer!
And it's well written. Alright, I think that's about all we had to say.
Alrighty then. Join us next time when we explore... Wait, do we say that? No. Well, never mind. We explore...
something.
Another... hopefully well-written TV show.
All right.
Let me give you a hint. Earth, fire, wind, water.
Heart.
No. You will be flogged for that.
You set it up so easily.
I know, I was considering doing it, but earth, fire, wind, and water. It's a cycle, don't you think? But anyways, I'm Sith King.
I'm Sonic Sons.
And we're signing off.